There's an attitude here. The professors are always available. I'm telling you the truth. I can sit down with a professor, and we don't have to be lovey-dovey, but we're friends in a way. You know, I think every one of you, if you've gone through what I'm talking about, you know what the heck I'm talking about. You know, and they try to help you. And not only that, I know from my own professor, Professor Weeks, he knows his stuff.
Dr. Lorenson had the ideas. He would come into the lab, he would have the slugs. We would have fleshed out the experiments and the experimental design in the office, and then we'd go into the lab and we'd work side by side at the bench where he'd be giving me material and I'd be working with it.
What we did was we used fluorescent dye to stain the phagocytic cells, to stain the bacteria. And not all the bacteria are picked up, but the staining of the slug, if it shoots out its cytoplasm, it usually has a purpose for it, and it pulls it in, and it gets, it's immunity. It's a primary phase of immunity.
As a friend of the laboratory, Dr. Lorenson's always welcome once this research is done to come into the lab. He's probably one of the few in the world who have cultivated these slugs through their life cycle. We had eggs, we had babies. So there's a place in the lab where he can continue to cultivate the slugs and do some of the work. Les has done a tremendous job in really catching up with the modern molecular revolution in biology that started actually in the 70s with all these techniques. It's been a real challenge, but it's done a really good job and met that challenge. And I can say that in the courses, in the classes that he's taken with me, one of the tremendous contributions he's made is to discuss and answer questions and present information from his experiences that had historical relevance that many of the students, including myself, had kind of taken for granted, that we didn't really understand how we understood these things or how we knew these things. But Les was there at the time that these fundamental principles in biology were being established. And Les would go to the board and draw things out and explain things to the class, and really brought some of that material to life in a way that I had never understood it myself. It's been a pleasure to have Dr. Lorenson in classes and bring that perspective.